Hi everybody, I'm Evan Williams, and today I'm going to tell you a story. So, in my life, when something happens, something either out of the ordinary or something completely normal and ordinary, a story sometimes comes out of it, and I have to find people in order, to tell the story to. And so it could be my students, my friends, my wife, but I have to get it out. It's been a long time since I've told a story because I've been going through transition. The last good story I told was about a month ago to my younger brother Daniel in Miami. I told him a long story. He went running for like 5 miles, and I told him a story the whole way, following him on the bike. But now I'm in Moscow. It's a totally different world, totally different environment. It's taken me about a week to adjust, but now I'm adjusted. I finally have my students, and Tuesday and Thursday nights in the center of Moscow I teach 12 university students, all about 23, 24 years old. They're all kind of at that age where they have figured out, or they're still figuring out, what they're going to do with the rest of their lives. And so I told them, if you want to get some good conversation practice, come to my class 1 hour early. And we'll have open conversation, and you'll get to know me on another level. Because when I'm teaching, it's pure business. So they all kind of looked at each other and talked, but they're very busy working people. There's this one girl, Maria. She's been coming already 4 times. She comes an hour early, and she sits there, and she doesn't say a word. And no matter what I'm doing, if I'm preparing or this and that, she's just like looking at me, waiting to start up a conversation. So it was last class, we kind of finally hit it off and we had a conversation. And I started off by asking her about her work, and she told me she works for Samsung. And I was like, oh man, Samsung is the best. The Samsung Galaxy, nothing compares to that. And she was like, yes, of course, Samsung, we have the best. And I said, I have Samsung. She's like, me too. And I brought out my Samsung. I was like, well, I bought this 6 years ago. And it's like the oldest model. And I said, don't tell the other students I have this. But I showed it to her, and she looked at it, and she didn't laugh because it was a Samsung. Anyway, we started talking, and she was kind of in between relationships, kind of confused. And I told her, because I told my students opening day, I have a wife, just so that there's no fooling around. I said, I have a wife, and I'm very happy. So I told Maria, I said, marriage life is happiness. And I told her, because she told me that I have a boyfriend in Miami, and I also have a boyfriend in Moscow, and I'm thinking this is maybe her defense to tell me, oh, I have something. But maybe she doesn't have, something special. Maybe she does, but she's telling me I have 2 boyfriends, sometimes I have more. I said, well, Maria, when you get married, all this has to come to a stop. And I said, and while you're doing this, boyfriend here, boyfriend there, you'll never find what you're looking for. You're always going to be searching for more, trying to grab more. And it's never going to give you quite what you want. And she kind of really started to listen. And she says, tell me what you mean. And all of a sudden, other students started filtering in. Evelina came in, Zhenya came in, Olga came in, Vika came in, Alexei came in. So we had a bigger group. And everyone's all interested, like, Evan, what are you talking about? Because Maria is like waiting for me. What am I going to say next? What is she going to say next? And I said, well, it starts with English. Since all of you guys are here to learn English, all happiness begins with English. And they looked at me like, oh, he's joking again. Because 90% of the time I joke with these students. I joke with them about Russian movies, about certain Russian phrases, about how you translate things into English. But I know a lot about Russian culture, because I've been living here for more than 11 years. So they look at me almost as like I'm one of theirs. And so we joke on the same level in Russian. And then when class starts, I teach English, but with a Russian mindset. So I've really been able to connect with these students. But I joke a lot. Always joke. And the reason why I joke is once I get these students to start cracking up laughing, they're all ready to learn. I could introduce anything. Present perfect continuous. But if they're happy, I introduce it and they learn. So I'm always joking. So these students, they don't have to feel they haven't felt me out yet when I'm serious and when I'm joking. Even though I warned them, I said 90% of the time I'm joking, so you better laugh at my jokes. And usually just Maria and Anna and Evelina, they only laugh at my jokes. I think it's because they're the only ones that get it. So I said to students, but this time a very serious face, I said, look, if you want to be happy, you have to learn English. English is the beginning, it's the foundation of all happiness in life. And they were looking at me, is he joking? And they were looking at each other, like, is he for real? I said it again, I was like, look, I'm being serious with you now. If you want happiness in life, it all starts with English. And that's why you're here. And you're going to be happy, not only as you take this course, but when you finish this course and you take another course, your happiness is just going to get, better and better and better and better, and more happiness. And Maria spoke up. She said, well, give me an example, because you could be joking. I said, no, I'm not joking. So give me an example. I said, okay, here's an example. When I lived in Zheleznodorozhny, 20 minutes from Moscow, I lived in this place for 3 years. The reason why I went to this place was because when I was living in Honduras, I had this crazy revelation after having read Leo Tolstoy's book, Anna Karenina, and Anna Karenina ended her life in Zheleznodorozhny, and I had this wild idea that I wanted to see what this place looked like. So, out of the blue, I didn't know one person in Moscow. After 3.5 years of Peace Corps in Ukraine, I took a train to Moscow, and I started asking Muscovites, where's Zheleznodorozhny? They all said, no, get on the Elektrichka, Moskva-Petushki, and get off at the station Zheleznodorozhny. So I did that one day. I got off at the station, and right there I found a job. And after I found a job, I found a roommate, and after I found a roommate, that's it. I stayed there a year. I stayed there another year. Years were going by, and I was in Zheleznodorozhny. Just teaching, studying, teaching, even without any idea what I'm doing here. But I knew I was supposed to be here. And even if I were to try to leave, literally, physically try to leave, so many times I wanted to go back to the United States, I couldn't do it. The travel agency would be closed, my paperwork would be incorrect, people were giving me wrong directions. So all of the signs everywhere, even though I wanted to leave, were saying, nope, can't leave yet, can't leave, can't leave. So even if I wanted to leave, couldn't leave. So I was stuck in Russia. And this is not because of Russia, this is because of something way beyond anything anybody can even think about. So I'm in Zheleznodorozhny, I see this student, 10th grade. I see something in her eyes, something about potential, she wants something so bad. And she doesn't quite know what it is, but she knows it's just around the corner. And that girl was Linda. And Linda really wanted to learn English. And I said to her, English will be the foundation of all of your happiness and for the rest of your life. You just have to study. And she's like, well, how? I live, with my mom, we're alone. Your English classes cost like 3,000 rubles per lesson. I can't pay that. I said, okay, you want to be enthusiastic? You have enthusiasm? You want to learn? I'll teach you for free. But you have to do everything I say. She said, oh my gosh. She ran home and told her mom, I was the first native speaker she had ever met. Because out in Zheleznodorozhny, you don't get any foreigners. The only foreigners are from Central Asia. And they speak Tajik. So I was the only American she had ever met. She ran home and told her mom, like, oh, this guy, he's going to teach me for free. So I made this discussion club. Because after a couple of years, I was already okay financially. Because I just eat 3 times a day. And so when I'm getting paid, I don't know what to do. I just put the money away. And now I'm at the point, I don't need money. I want to do something beyond. So I made this discussion club. And I said, Linda, not only will I teach you for free, but you could come to my discussion club. And I had a group of 5 people whom I was teaching at a reduced price at my apartment. I said, you could study with me in my apartment for free and my discussion club. And your English will go crazy. So Linda, she believed in me. She actually believed in what I said. And I said, yeah, just do everything I say and you'll get the results. So we started studying. She started going to my discussion club. And her English started progressing super fast. And it was nothing that I was doing. I'm just a normal teacher. I just go through the book, but I tell them, do everything 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, learn everything by memory. and do extra homework, hours and hours of homework, and do it because you love it. And Linda was the only student that actually did this. So she went from a low pre-intermediate to advanced in 1 year. And at the end of the 11th grade, I said, okay, you're ready to go to USA. You're going to skip Moscow, no more Moscow. You're going to say goodbye to your family, you're going to USA. And she's all like, oh, I'm going to do it. And so, a twist in the story is that Linda was so excited about these English classes that we were having. She called her aunt up, Ludmila, and she said, Ludmila, you have to come to this discussion club and meet my teacher. And Ludmila kept saying, no, what's the point? You know, why would I go? I don't even speak English. Ludmila's English was 0. Anyway, one day, I don't know how, but Linda got Ludmila to come from Moscow to Zhelezno-Dorozhny, and she went to one of my meetings. And the first time I saw Ludmila at my meetings, we fell in love through the eyes, and I married her 2 weeks later. She didn't even speak a word of English. And in 2 weeks, we were already on our honeymoon in Egypt. And after that, we did another honeymoon in India. And when Ludmila started to study English, her whole life changed because she started thinking in another way. And Linda, because she started studying English so much, not only was responsible for getting Ludmila and I together and getting us married, but she got her own ticket to the United States, accepted into university. She got a scholarship. She's living her dream right now, living in New York City, making very good money, simultaneously earning a higher degree. And she's doing something that if she had told her friends 3 or 4 years ago that she was going to do, not a single person would believe her. But I told Linda, it all starts with English. Just start learning a few sentences, a few phrases, and watch what happens. She's right now in the Big Apple, and she loves New York so much, and her English now is fluent. And now I'm married to Linda's aunt, and Ludmila's life has totally changed. Because I took her from Moscow, and I took her way deep into Central America, and I said, do you want to see what a miracle is? What a miracle life itself is? I said, well, just come and I'll show you. And so Ludmila's life completely changed just by starting at 0. And now Ludmila is upper, intermediate, advanced in English. And Linda also, she started off, at 0. And now she has upper level of English. And their lives have totally been transformed. Nothing really that I did. I just kind of presented them with something, and I said, do with this what you will. But it will create miracles in your life. Just watch. Keep your eyes open and watch them happen. And it happened, and it is still happening, and it will happen to you if you have the attitude that I'm going to learn English, and there's going to be miracles in my life. And there will be.